And if you need proof that Donald Jackass Trump doesn't care one bit about his constituents, let's just pick a random storm. How about last, the storms that went through the Carolinas and all that other stuff, those storms one after another, when he was telling everybody and his mouthpieces were telling everybody not to accept any help from FEMA, because if you accept help from FEMA, that they're going to come back and take your house. And basically you're giving up your rights to your own property just by saying, yes, please, thank you, give me water. Or God forbid, help me clean up my house that was just destroyed, or help me find my loved ones that were washed away. If you accept that help, then that evil Joe Biden and the administration are going to come for your stuff, and while they're in there, they'll take all your guns because, they wanted to do that anyway. That was their plan. It's just, the fact your house blew away just means the guns are easier to find. Pew, pew, sorry. But you see how it all works. So he tells his constituents not to accept the help, so they don't accept the help, to the point of them chasing out aid workers with pew-pews out of territories, like FEMA people trying to save lives. They chased out with like little militia groups with red hats. All right, so that actually happened. And then you have things like Texas and the anger that's being fed to the Republican base that feeds all of this stuff and creates this perfect storm of ignorance that costs lives. And a perfect example of that is the tragic flooding in Texas. All right, this area had a specific amount of money from Obama, who was doing infrastructure coast to coast, not infrastructure blue states only, coast to coast, red states too. And literally the money that was sent to Republican counties, they would have town hall meetings with the same mentality saying, if we accept Obama's money, we're selling our souls to the devil, then we owe him and we have to follow him down any rabbit hole, and that we're not going to give our people insurance, whatever they want to fight for. The fear that they accept anything without all these is ridiculous, because health care for all and the things that have been Democratic points would help everybody, blue or red. That's the ridiculous part. But anyway, so they're fighting this and they're having town hall meetings. So they deny Obama's stuff. And then, you get Trump and you get, and Trump gets in, does his I actually care news whatever, and does all these tests and researches actually how much danger these specific counties are in for, let's just say, an emergency alert system for tornadoes, floods, whatever. And he finds that in this particular county where there were all that huge loss of life from the floods and all the kids camps, he finds that it would cost $900 and something thousand to fix upgrade the entire system, so nothing that happened then would have happened. Under $1 million. That's what they found. Trump's people found it. And because he cares so much, he did nothing. The Republican Congress, everybody that was in charge to fund it, did nothing. That never happened, even though they found it. So when Joe Biden got back in, he saw it and was like, that's ridiculous. I'm doing another round of infrastructure for everybody. Both sets of colors, red and blue. Everyone gets money to fix what they need to fix. Kind of what the government's supposed to do for everybody. Work for everybody. Figure that out, MAGA. But anyway, so he tried to do that. There are people on video in this county that were literally calling Joe Biden and the Democrats like evil and Satan, and we're not going to take $5.1 million, 5 times more than needed to fix their whole entire thing. Not only did they allow firing of the people that would have called and done that, which created a 90-minute delay, but they refused the money. They used the money to give themselves raises in the sheriff's department stuff, but they refused the money, and they were proud of it. They were proud of it. And all any of these people on the flood line needed was a 4-minute head start, and every single one of them would have been saved. 4 minutes is all it would have taken to walk up the hill and been safe. 4 minutes. The federal government, Trump administration, knew 45 minutes before the waters rose. And he let everyone know 45 minutes after the waters rose. That's how much he cares about you.